Oh, so you hooked it up to the switch.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So when I turn on the table saw, that turns on the vacuum. And then this will run like 5 seconds longer and then shut off after you shut the machine off. Okay? Alright, when you come over, the jig is probably going to be set to the main sides, okay, front and back. That's the way the last person should have left it. So the first thing you're going to have to do is take these clamps off. Just push that button to release those. Slide this over to where it says first cut sides. Okay? Line up that mark. Go ahead and clamp your jig in place. Do the same thing on the other side. And again, what did I say about accuracy on this line? It is very, very important that you get that set right. Okay, now we're going to have to be over in this miter gauge slot. Okay, and we're going to start off with the end pieces. Okay. All right. You should always check this too, but when you cut your end pieces, they should be exactly the right size. And again, if they're not exactly 2 1/4 by 4 inches long, that's going to mess you up too. Okay. So what I'm going to do is put these in here stacked, and what that's going to do is cut that first cut right there. Okay. And we're going to use a spring clamp to clamp those in place. So make sure this is sitting up against the finger. Make sure it's sitting flat on the table so it's vertical. And then go ahead and clamp it in place.
Gentle against the finger. Very gentle. We don't want it to break.
Well, yeah. Okay, so I got it up against the finger. I got them straight up and down. I clamped it in place. Make sure the clamp is not going to hit the blade. Okay, don't put the clamp so close to the blade that it's going to hit the clamp. Okay, then we go ahead and start it and run it through. Now, rather than bringing that backwards across that blade while it's running, it's best to go ahead and not do that. You'll get the most accurate cut if you just go ahead and take them out. Then go ahead and pull your jig back. Okay, and we're going to make the next cut over here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set this up like this. Clamp it. And I've had students in the past, they get this clamped on here and it's a little crooked like that. It's very important that you have that straight up and down. Clamp it in place. I like this is real safe because you're not trying to put your fingers out there holding onto it, so I like using that clamp. Now notice that I did it on the same side here. Now if you get a little bit of a piece like that, don't worry about it. Don't try to peel it off this way because it'll split back a ways. We can take a little X-Acto knife and just trim that. Okay, next thing we want to do is adjust the jig. Okay, so we take the clamps off. And we go to the main side. So we line these up here. Up. Okay, then we clamp it. I'm going to readjust this just a little bit because my finger was a little tight. I'm going to put a new line on there, but I'm going to make it a little bit. That should fit.
One question.
Yes.
Did you just twist these around Yeah, that's a good idea.
We could do that to do one of the cuts, the other end.
That's a good question.
Yeah, we could do the other end on that same one, but what we're going to do is actually fit these right on the finger like this.
Oh, nice.
See, and then that's going to space that out correct.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I like it.
All right, so you put it on the finger, clamp it in place. Again, make sure it sits flat.
Yeah, your situation is sitting flat. I think you might have to redo that joint.
Okay, and then we go ahead and run it through.
Oh, that's a great idea you have.
Okay.
You just keep
So now
feeding
you
it through?
Yep. Then you
amazing.
you put it on the finger for the next cut. Make sure that they're stacked together, that they're sitting vertical. Clamp it in place. Now, if you see that these things are not stacked perfect, then you got a problem. That's a little close to the blade.
Everybody's going to be hitting that.
I think you need to go down. There you go.
Just clamp it from this side.
Because it's not totally flush. There, wait, down. There you go. There you go. Now see, it came back up. See that gap?
I think it's okay.
Is it?
Because I think it's up on this side too, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, guys, these clamps are not steel. You know, they're not like those bar clamps. You can't put that much tension on them. We keep having these break because people are trying to squeeze these too tight.
I'm slowly replacing them with better ones.
Sometimes you got to wiggle this just a little bit to get it off. But again, don't break my finger. Okay. Last year we had, when we did this project, this finger got kind of loose because people were not pulling straight up and stuff. I made that out of maple, which is pretty hard. Okay, we got one more cut to make on this side. Okay, we got one side done.
Oh, man.
Okay, now we go ahead and continue cutting the other side. Okay? You guys get the idea?
Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to be a little bit tight because, okay guys, listen. Shh. The sign of a good craftsman in woodworking is having a tight fitting box joint. So we want these to be a little bit tight. And we may have to take a little bit of sandpaper, wrap it around a square file or a flat file, and just adjust those just a little bit. You can clamp them together to adjust them, to get them to where they're fit. Right now they're pretty tight. I could probably get that to squeeze in there, but it's pretty darn tight. There, it's squeezing in a little bit. That's the way you want them. Okay, you want them to be nice and tight like that. Okay, so, but I do need to adjust this one a little bit with a file because it's just a little bit tighter than it should be. But
It'd be a lot of work having to file every single one.
Well, it won't take very long. You just basically
Really,
fit it together.
really small amount.
You're talking. You hit this. You hit this. You hit this. You hit this. You do a couple swipes with some 80 grit sandpaper, and it's going to fit perfect. Okay. All right. Then when I do, so you guys understand that. Now when I do the front and back pieces, okay. The front and back pieces are already, the jig is already set because I'm not doing a kerf right on the end. I'm doing a kerf in from the edge. So you set them up just like that. You don't have to readjust the jig at all. Make sure it's down flat. Okay, here we go.
Which is why the corners are so thin. Was first learning to do that.
Why are you doing this?
Kept dropping it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's popping.
It's the thing is though, it's not sitting here either. I could sand that finger down. Okay, then we go ahead and make our next cut, guys.
Only like $5.
Okay? You get the idea?
Yep.
Now, the only way you can really screw up on this, when you go to make the next cut on this, you need to flip it over like this so you get the same edge starting on the finger. Okay? Don't do this. Okay? Start with the same edge on the finger. So I take this out of here, I just flip it over like that, do the other side. Okay? All right. We talked about the due date being Wednesday.
What?
We did talk about it being Valentine's Day, which is actually tomorrow. So we talked about,
You're going to reschedule.
You gotta be kidding me.
You just showed us the
if you guys will be respectful here, I might give you an extension. But if you're going to be disrespectful, then I'll make it due Wednesday. Obviously, we're not going to get this done. This is going to take some time because one at a time is going to have to go through and make these cuts. Okay? So it's going to take some time. A lot of you are ready. How many of you are ready to make your cuts right away? Okay, so you guys are going to be back here working together, getting those done. Okay, today. Okay, let's go ahead and go to work.